This is a video that a lot of gamers probably can relate to. GTA 6 and PlayStation are destroying gaming as we know it. Let's talk about how GTA 6 is impacting gaming at the moment, and then we'll talk about PlayStation afterwards. The pricing for GTA 6 is absolutely ridiculous. So $69.99, so let's call it 70 quid for the base edition, and then for the deluxe edition it's $89.99, so 90 quid for the deluxe edition. I honestly can't believe how expensive gaming has gotten the last few years, especially with Rockstar, for example, and Nintendo and PlayStation. It's absolutely skyrocketed. A lot of people will say that the reason GTA 6 is so expensive is because they've put 13, 15 years into it, trying to get it to the point that it is now. And that just doesn't wash with me, because it's not the gamer's fault that it's taking you that long and that much put that much money in to make it. So why are you passing on the cost to them? Really, they should be looking at themselves and how bad they are at running a company, rather than trying to put it on the consumer. With GTA 6 and Rockstar, by making it such a high price, it sets a bad standard in the industry, as in the gaming industry. So the first people to do this was Nintendo, and everybody knew that Nintendo were going to do this and trying to do this, as in price hike and set a premium for their products. And when they did it, nobody liked it either, but at least they still have physical media and game key cards. But game key cards aren't all that, but at least it's something. It ain't great, don't get me wrong, but it's something. Now with the release of GTA 6, it's what, 70 quid for the base edition and then 90 quid for the deluxe edition. And guess what? You don't even get a disc. That's right. It's just a digital release. That's it. They're not even offering the option of a physical release. How can this price, how can that price warrant, how can not having a physical disc warrant that kind of pricing? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then it sets a standard for the rest of the industry to say, oh, okay, well, Rockstar are doing it. Oh, okay, Nintendo are doing it, so we can do it with our shit game. It sets such a bad standard. And you know, I don't think Rockstar are going to go back on their decision to not do a physical release with GTA, but it's just so bad for the industry at whole, and it alienates a lot of people who do want the physical release. One thing that I have been thinking about is, how can games come out now with additional DLC behind a paywall? Games have always had DLC to help sell them, you know, like a pre-order bonus and things like that, but now it's more actual content being behind a paywall. So GTA 6 is a brand new game. However, you've got a standard edition and a deluxe edition. Well, how does that make any sense? It's a brand new game. Why are you locking content behind a paywall already? It's absolutely silly. It just doesn't make any sense. And these things are all meant to be part of the base game, and they just decided to put it behind a paywall to make even more money from people, and people are going to pay it. And that's the ridiculous thing, is that people will keep giving their money to these companies, and I don't blame them, because they're leaning into a FOMO, as in fear of missing out. And I've been a victim of that myself, but as I've gotten older, I've realized that it really, really isn't worth it. Even though that there is no physical release of the game is still expensive. When I was younger, games that had no physical release, as in digital only games, were meant to be cheaper than the alternative. And I think we're finding a lot now that just isn't the case. Like GTA 6 being 60 or 80 or 90 quid upon release of digital only, it's still more expensive than 99% of games out there. And it's not, you don't own it. You don't have it. It's nothing. I don't understand how they can warrant that kind of price for a digital only product. It's bonkers. They shouldn't be getting away with it. But GTA 6 is going to be one of the best selling games of our generation, hands down. Me making this video isn't going to change anything. However, I just wanted to get my opinion out there, because I just can't believe it. I think it's reflective of the industry at large. Games with no physical releases should be infinitely more cheaper than their physical release counterparts. It's like a no-brainer. I don't think anybody should be arguing that fact. However, Rockstar and other companies are arguing that, and we're letting them get away with it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Me personally, I really enjoyed GTA 5. I remember going out because I didn't pre-order GTA 5. I don't know why. I just didn't. And I was in secondary school at the time. And I remember going around with my stepdad and our friends in their car trying to go to a Sainsbury's that hadn't sold out because it sold out crazy. And I was trying to get it, and it was like late after school. And we finally got a copy. And then I was trying to download the game all throughout the night to try and play it. People, you're going to miss that. You know, the experience of going to get a game now. You know, especially with GTA 6, where it's going to be a groundbreaking game and everybody's going to want it. I just think it's such a shame with GTA 6. And yeah, people are going to miss that. I won't be buying it if it's not a physical release myself. Shit. When you buy a digital game, you don't own that product. You're buying a license to be able to play that game for a limited amount of time until the license expires. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they are buying the ability to rent the game long term. And I think if people started thinking about that more, people would object to digital only games even more. And that brings us into Sony. Now, here's the biggest problem of them all. They just don't want us to own our own products. And it's bloody obvious to anybody who's watching or paying attention. Sony is so guilty of this at the moment. It's bloody unbelievable. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Completely fallen from their grace. For anybody who doesn't know, Sony announced that they will no longer be having physical releases of their games in 2028. For anybody listening, that should be driving them nuts. Sony was the last bastion of physical media is good for the consumer. Honestly, it's such a punch. It's such a punch to the gut. I can't explain how it makes me feel knowing that Sony thought that they could get away with this and everybody would be okay with it. It's such a punch to the gut. They have the audacity to say this after they removed over 500 movies from the online store. 500, over 500. And these people didn't get a refund. These people thought that they were buying the product and it was theirs forever. Yet again, they only had the license. Sony doesn't care about you. They don't care about you as a consumer or somebody who loves Sony. I absolutely love the PlayStation. And I love the PlayStation 2. I love the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I was all over that. You know, I had Xbox 360 when I was younger. I had PS2, Xbox 360. Then I went straight back to PS3, PS4, PS5. I've always been one who championed this system and this company. I loved what they stood for. You know, they had that whole video of how do you share a PlayStation game. I'll put it in here now. And
this is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
Play has no limits. Well, Play has limits now. You've set those limits as a company, and it's bloody disgusting. They try to say that basically everybody is doing digital. And I have digital media myself, downloading games and things like that from companies like Inscription, for example. That's one of my favourite games to play. And that's a digital download. I've got other games like that. I do it sparingly. I have my own collection. Not every single one of my games do I own physically. I have a mixed match, and I think a lot of people are like that, where they have a mixed match of physical and non-physical media. But for PlayStation or Sony to just remove that choice from people and say it's for the betterment of the community is a load of bollocks. It really is. All that is corporate greed, and it's so upsetting. Honest, I was trying to explain to family members, my partner, how, and they kind of get it, but how upsetting that is for somebody who loves to collect physical media. I'm somebody who collects physical media. I've got 4Ks, Blu-rays, games. So I've got PS2, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5 games, Xbox 360 games. So I've got a complete mix match of physical media. And I love it. I love being able to spend a tenner and then go down and get a PS3 game that is absolutely going to blow me away, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. That's what they want to take away from you. They want to kill the second-hand market. They hate it. The thought that me and you, I could say, here you go, here you go, whoever you are. Say, here you go. You want to borrow my game? Take it. Take it from me. It's no problem. They want to stop that from being able to happen. They don't want that. They want. I'm getting carried away. They just don't want you owning your own media, and it shows. What they would rather do is have you locked into their ecosystem, as in locked into their stores. So they just keep on putting paywalls behind the products that you want. So, for example, if you want to play a classic PS2 game, you better pay us for it. No, don't go and get it. Pay us, dear. Pay us money. Give us money. Give us more money from the same product over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with that if you want to do that. But there should be a choice whether you pay for the digital download, which is more convenient often, and that's okay, but not at the cost of not being able to have the physical media there. So what happens if they do go digital only completely? Well, the sales go out the window, as in discounts. You won't be able to get a discount on anything anymore. They won't let you. There's no competition. There's no where are you going to go to get the product? If PlayStation don't make the physical releases, you can't go get it secondhand at a cheaper price. They've got no incentive to give it to you cheaper. So in the UK, places like CEX, it's massive. I fucking love CEX. I can go there and get whatever I want most of the time, and I can go around my area, around the country, around the city, wherever, to different CEXs and try and get games that I want. You won't be able to do that anymore. So why would Sony put a discount on something they don't have to put a discount on? Or worse, they force you to sign up to their subscription service, as in, is it PS Plus? I've recently just cancelled my PS Plus because I'm not happy with what Sony are doing, and you have to prove it to them somehow. You have to show them somehow. Twitter comments just isn't enough sometimes. You've got to hit them where it hurts, which is their pocket. And I get it. I'm just one person, and that may not make a difference, but I've done it, and it ain't no skin off my nose because I've got a lot of my physical media games anyway that I like to play. What's worse is they lock you into the PS Plus store. So, for example, you want to play your PS2 game, you got to pay us. We put it in the top tier of what you've got to pay. You got to pay £200 a year to be able to play Sly Cooper 2, for example, or whatever, or Sly 1, Sly 2, Sly 3, whatever one it is, or Honor Amongst Thieves. You've got to pay us to be able to play that game. No, don't go out and buy it. Pay us to do it. It just doesn't make any sense, and there's a problem at large with subscription services in general, whether that be Battle Pass, PlayStation Plus, or like PSN Plus or Game Pass. People will spend so much money each year, and they're not going to get the value from it that they should, when they could pick a game and go and get a game that they actually want and keep it forever and sell it on to somebody else eventually. They'd much rather pay the subscription each month for convenience sake, I guess. Even subscription services with movies like Netflix and Amazon and Paramount and things like that lean into that greediness as well. They're constantly raising their prices, and the best shows, they move around themselves. So, for example, Friends might go from Netflix to Paramount, then Paramount to Amazon, or the same with like Parks and Recreation, two really popular shows that moves around. And that's by design. That's so that you have to pay for multiple streaming services each month, so that you're locked into all these different subscription services. It's ridiculous and just greedy. And I just don't see how people don't have a problem with it. Go and buy the Friends box set. You get much more value out of it than you will paying for all the different subscription services that have got a bunch of shit that you're never going to watch. I champion physical media and owning a lot of the physical media. When you stream something, yet again, you never own anything, and they can take it away from you, and they keep bumping up the price, bumping up the price, bumping up the price. And before you know it, by the end of things, you've got a subscription that costs you 50 quid a month. That's a lot of money. That's your hard-earned money. That's just streaming as a whole. But I think it kind of lends to what we're talking about now with greed of corporations. Sony on PlayStation, we use that exclusively, but Sony are aware of the backlash. Every comment, every tweet is talking about bring back physical media, don't take physical gifts away from us. What does Sony do? Well, they don't address it. It's been what? I think it's been like 5 days or something like that at this point, 4 days. They've put other posts out and have just decided not to respond. It really shows how little they actually think about us. That's what really made me just drop the PlayStation subscription. I went, nope. And I've always been someone who defends them and loves a lot of their products, Even the new God of War Laufey, I think it's called. Laufey, something like that. I'm all over it. I thought it looked really cool. And a lot of people slagging it off. I've pre-ordered the Wolverine disc, obviously. I've pre-ordered it. I want it. I enjoy PlayStation products, but I will not be a part of something that isn't for the betterment of myself or the gaming community. I just refuse to do it. I've got such good memories of when I was a kid. I don't know if you're from the UK, but if you are, you might remember a shop called Game Station. Game Station was like a CEX, but with only games. And I used to go there as a kid. My mum would give me, let's say, 20 quid. And I think you could get two for 20 quid, so a tenner a game. And they're all pre owned games. Most of them were pre owned games anyway. And I would spend what felt like hours getting the game, reading the back of the case, and making a decision on what game I wanted. And it was such a good time because I would talk with the people in the shop about what games were cool. Obviously, this is pre I had a phone and internet access, so I couldn't do my own research and things like that. It's pre all that, and it was such a beautiful time for me, and I've got such vivid memories of doing that. Like picking up like Bioshock for the first time and reading the back of it and thinking, God, that sounds so cool, and other games like that, and people will lose that. That's just an experience that people are going to lose. And I think something like that is worth protection. At a base level, being able to own what you buy is important. If we let them get away with this, they will get away with it. So for all those people who keep tweeting at them, keep doing it. Keep kicking up a fuss about things. Because eventually, if we hit them where it hurts, as in their subscription services and not buying their digital products, eventually something will change. And I'm hoping that it will change. And I'm hoping that I'm proved wrong in this video and tomorrow they put out a tweet saying they are going to continue to make physical media, as in their game's going to be physical media, because I will not be buying the PlayStation 6. The rumours are it's going to be £1,000. £1,000 with no disc drive and no physical games? No, thank you. No, thank you. At that point, you may as well just go to PC gaming, because at least PC gaming has got Steam and it's a much better user interface and community and company than 99% of companies out there. And you've got the ability to play a lot of different games and emulate games on a PC. Okay, the upfront cost is more, but in the long run, that PC will last a lot longer than you think, and your return on investment will come. I myself have used to play PC, and I've got a lot of Steam games that I haven't played recently. So I've got a good backlog of games as well. There are other options. And when these greedy game companies don't know that there are other options that people are willing to go to, they think they can get away with it. So the only thing that we can do is keep collecting, keep adding to your backlog, and don't let them win. Uber duck out.